Hey everybody, it's Marshall Monkey here, and this is going to be my Solo, a Star Wars story review. Yes, this review is major late. I know what you're saying. You're like, really? Why did it take you so long? What's going on with videos? When are videos coming back? And I want to say that I am going to be doing a lot more videos. Anyway, I'm very excited about this video though, because it's going to be a rant video. Yes, I did not like this movie, as a lot of other people also didn't like it. And one thing that I really also want to point out is that this, story was kind of big when Solo came out. It's kind of died down now that, other movies are out right now. But Solo Star Wars Story's box office was worse than Justice League's. I mean, maybe not completely, right? Because this movie's still kind of on the surface. But, when it opened, that was like one of the big headlines. Just want to throw that out there, Disney fans, haters of the DCEU. Anyway. But yes, we have to talk about Solo Star Wars Story. Now, as you guys know, non-spoiler review in the first half of the video, spoiler review in the second half. Non-spoiler wise, this movie has a lot of problems. I mean, the writing is just all over the place. There's stuff that's put in this movie that's not explained later on. It just doesn't make sense to me of how it could have ended up like this. Also, the movie is very predictable. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but it's just super predictable to me. I don't like it at all. I mean, especially the ending, the third act. Really predictable, mainly because there's only a couple of ways that the third act for this movie can go, right? They kind of cram all the action into the second act to kind of get you over to the third one, which I thought worked. I think the action, especially the space, action sequences with the ships, right? I thought that actually really worked. I enjoyed those, but it really tanked in the third act for me because we already saw all that, right? So it worked to get you to the third act, but I think they need to kind of spice up their third acts, Star Wars, right? I mean, I think it's a little needed at this point. But I did, however, like Alden Ehrenreich, and I was actually surprised because I actually hate Alden Ehrenreich. Well, at least I did before this movie. But after coming out of the theater, I was like, you know what? Alden Ehrenreich saved this film for me personally because I think he did a really good job. Now, I'm not saying that the other actors didn't do a good job. I just think that he really carried the film. No wonder Disney casted him. As for some of the other actors like Emilia Clarke, well, they're just kind of playing themselves at this point. I thought Emilia Clarke did good, but she's kind of been doing a character that she's been in for a while. I mean, when they talked about her backstory, they didn't really explain a lot of it. Again, we're going to get into all of this in the spoiler stuff, but they didn't explain a lot of her character, except for what happened in, the beginning of the film. I'm not going to give any spoilers away. We're going to talk about that in a second, but other than the non-explanation to her character, she just really kind of played, she played a character that you think Emilia Clarke would play, right? She's playing herself, basically. It was just kind of annoying, right? Or kind of like a died-down version of Daenerys Stormborn, right? I was just kind of like, okay, so she's basically still Khaleesi. But I did like that she was in the movie at all. I think that she's really nice to see in other projects other than Game of Thrones. And I'd like to see her come back to Star Wars if they have better writing material for her, because it's not that she's a bad actress, right? And a lot of people are trying to theorize that her character is Rey's mother. I don't know about that stretch, but I mean, hey, up to interpretation. As for Woody Harrelson, he's also kind of just playing himself here, and it's kind of annoying, right? I mean, it's basically right where Haymitch left off in Hunger Games in this movie. It's just kind of annoying, right? I mean, they didn't give anything interesting for his character. I mean, I was like, really? You're gonna do this? And there's a plot twist. There's a plot twist that he's involved with. Again, not gonna give anything away, but it was just really bad. I'm gonna talk about it in the spoiler half if you guys haven't. If you haven't seen the movie, this is your chance to see the non-spoiler half, but in the spoiler half, I'm going to talk about that because it was just really bad. Overall, though, I really didn't like some of the other characters. One character that really felt short for me was Lando Calrissian, and we'll talk about him in a second as well in the spoiler half, but I really just thought he kind of fell short for me. I do like Donald Glover quite a bit, so I was really having high hopes for that character, but it looks like Donald Glover may need a little bit more time to adjust to this character, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, that's how it goes. Now, I wanted to give an actually big shout out to Val, the actress who played Val. Her character was really good. I mean, it was just fantastic. And we're about to get into the spoiler half in a second, but I think that she was just such a good character, and so good of a character that I actually think if the DCEU is willing to race bend this character, I think that she could play really good Catwoman, right? Next to Ben Affleck's Batman. I don't know. I mean, that she really gave off that vibe to me. She's even wearing cat goggles in the movie. I mean, and that's not a spoiler because it's in one of the promo shots for her character. But she's even wearing cat-eyed goggles. I mean, how Catwoman can you get now? And we'll talk about that in a second. But now we are getting into the spoil, and there's the cat-eye goggles. Now we're getting into the spoiler half, so watch out for that. First of all, I think that killing her off was immediately a bad decision. I mean, the first major character to get killed off, and she's not only a female, but she's African American. I was like, Disney, how can you get away with these things? Because come to think of it, in Avengers Infinity War, right, Idris Elba was killed off first. So I think that Disney's just kind of, cashing in all their good luck money, right, on these killings. I just think it's really weird and strange that they're getting away with it. I mean, if this was like another movie, right, from any other studio, they'd probably get hassled for it. And again, as for Lando Calrissian, Donald Glover, he's not new particularly to the acting scene, not super new, but at the same time, he is kind of still not used to this big of a career, I think, in acting. He's more of the music scene, obviously, as Childish Gambino, but I really do feel like he needs a lot more work as his character. I mean, it just really fell short for me. I mean, things that I thought were going to make him, amazing, right, in the trailers, a lot of the lines he's had in the trailers, I just feel like it fell a lot shorter here, and it was just kind of disappointing to me. As for Paul Bettany, because I didn't know if a lot of people knew that he was in this movie, so I kind of threw this in the spoiler half. Paul Bettany actually did a good job. I liked seeing him do a 180 from playing Vision to playing this character. The only problem is I feel like Disney villains have gotten a lot cheesecakey recently, right? Like, except for Thanos. Other than that, I feel like a lot of the Disney movie villains, in like Star Wars, Marvel, all that has been just a little bit too cheesecakey for me, like especially Star Wars. It's just kind of annoying. The plot twist at the end, in the third act, where we were going to find out who, foiled Han's plan, right? Who foiled it? I thought for sure it was going to be Lando. I was like, okay, they're going to make it Lando, and then it'll lead into the next movie of how they fix their relationship for the actual Star Wars films, right? Nope, it's a Woody Harrelson, and I was out with my friends watching this film, and I looked at them and I was like, hey, you know what? It can't be Woody Harrelson, right? I mean, it just can't be, or else it's just too predictable. And they were like, no way, it's going to be him. And then he walks in the freaking room, and I was so upset, right? I was just kind of annoyed, and I really do feel like it was a bad twist. Also, Emilia Clarke taking out Paul Bettany, also predictable, right? I just felt like the whole third act was just really saddening for me. It was really predictable. It was really off. And overall, I just really didn't enjoy it. And then we have to talk about Darth Maul. I don't really get Darth Maul being there. I thought he was dead, to be quite honest with you. But maybe I'm not that big in Star Wars lore, so I don't know if this, well, this is after. This is after the, I guess it could have been before Obi-Wan. Well, no, I don't know. I'm not really sure about that, to be quite honest with you. I'm not really a big Star Wars fan, so I'm not really sure about the timeline of when Darth Maul, before he died. But I don't know why I guess he's just going to be in the second movie, but then who's going to take him down? Because I don't think Han Solo could take on a Sith Lord. I don't know. Overall, I didn't really enjoy this movie as much as I hope I would. It was okay. But what did you guys think about it? Comment down below. I am going to be doing Incredibles 2 review, and of course, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom review next. So don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.